evening, folks. Welcome to Wobbly Player Syndrome, a Warhammer 40k podcast with only 3 people this month. It's very exciting, but it's the important 3. The other ones are just holding us back, clearly. Well, it's the new year. Get rid of some dead weight. It's fantastic.
It's a lean, mean, rambling machine tonight.
That's it. It's going to be very precise, and you're going to just be enthralled. Anyway, so here we got Michael.
Hey, I'm neither lean nor precise.
We got Mark.
Hey, everybody.
And of course, I'm Greg. Oh, we're still getting messages. Well, I'm getting messages. I can't remember if I turned off my phone. I did this time. It's nothing worse when you stream, your phone goes off in the background. Yeah. Tells you how popular you are. How was your break, folks?
Yeah, it was a break.
You're all back at work and exciting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's move on from that.
This fucking year.
2022 as well. Yeah.
Started with a bang.
Started with a lot of bangs. A lot of little bangs. And some big loud bangs.
Oh, big loud bang. That other night, that crack of thunder.
Followed by 3 days of night.
Yeah, it's been an interesting start to the year. We felt January last year was the big hailstorm that demolished all the cars, and then January this year.
No, it was 2 years ago.
Really, it's 2 now.
2 years ago, man. Pandemic brain.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks, folks. I'll join you in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Really.
I know because 2020
I have to do insurance
is just
stuff,
burned.
so
Okay.
so I know when I put in the last claim for hail damage.
Alright, so mine's blown. It's going to be going well if I can't remember that. We're going to talk about predictions. Yeah. I'll say something. Greg, that happened last year. What? Yeah, so this is episode 47. It is called Looking into the Warp. Each year we do, at the start of the year, look and see what predictions we can come up with and see how well we go. We will talk about what we did last year as well. But first, we normally talk about new releases. And Michael tells us all about them.
Dun dun dun. Well, I mean, yet again, it hasn't been like a super heavy release kind of month, probably because it's December, January.
Yeah.
We just had Codex and Dice and Cards for the Genestealer Cult, and the same for the Custodes, which is cool. I'm curious to see what they've done to the GSC. Hasn't showed up yet, though. We also had like a Christmas celebration model called Baller and Burke, which was an orc with a thing. We also had some actual orcs. Orc warbosses, orc boys, and orc death copters. Yay for more orcs.
Can't go wrong with more orcs.
And fucking bizarrely, they announced a made-to-order of the 3rd edition box set plastic models, which I just don't even know what. Like,
there is somebody who has written many emails to someone at GW about that.
I mean, maybe it's because the average player is like 5 years younger than us, and so for them that's kind of their entry point. But for me, I'm like, that is the worst starter set I can think of.
Yeah,
the worst. The second ed at least is nostalgic because it's where I started, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th, all those were better. This third is just bad. It's not good.
It was a weird decision.
it has the distinction of having the worst land speeder model ever.
Yeah.
Never went together properly.
My one is that generation because that's how old the land speeder was.
Yeah.
I think I bought that in like 2012 or something. Like it was it was at least in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprisingly long ago that they replaced that model in most kits, but not that Ravenwing Squadron kit where you got the Ravenwing bikes and the land speeder. Was that original land speeder? But
because I had to hack that thing with like a hobby knife to get it to even approximate coming together properly.
Yeah, when I built mine back when that box set came out, I would remember being there with this just wrapping string and rubber bands around it to try and get it tight enough to hold, and
Yeah,
it never
so-
properly did.
So
And now you
mine-
can order
mine looks
more.
like the bonnet's popped
Now we can
every
buy
time.
more of them.
Yeah.
If there's something you don't like, buy them this.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, it smacked to me like they were cleaning out the warehouse because they had to shut it down, and they were like, "Oh, hey, we got like 50,000 of these boxes that
Man.
we put in a corner and forgot about," and we're like, "Hey, let's just make them to order."
We got a bunch of dumb bullshit. Let's write codes on it and say it's an NFT.
Yeah.
Other things that were announced, the Eldritch Omens box set
Yes.
was announced with the Eldar versus the Chaos.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. They've also announced some cool new looking Eldar shit, but I don't know when that's coming out yet. I don't think there's a release date. They're just like, check out these cool models.
Isn't the Guardians and the Autarch? Do I say that right? Autarch?
Autarch?
Yeah, that's the only ones I've
I
seen.
always say Autarch. I haven't actually checked how it's spelled to see
It's-
if I'm saying it right.
It's Autarch today.
I'm pretty sure it is Autarch.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that new Gravis Captain to replace the old one from the box set.
Yep.
That
Huh.
one's cool. I like how you can give him a chainsaw. That's cool.
Hey, it's not a lieutenant.
And they're re-releasing Cursed City, so you can buy Warhammer Quest stuff.
Yes. Yeah, so whatever the issues they had with the provider before seems to be sorted out, so they can now go,
Well-
it's back.
I was only just bitching about that last month, so I'm kind of stoked to see
Ask
that
and
come
ye
back.
shall receive.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
They
it
must
means
listen
we'll
to the podcast.
Hopefully, it means that we'll get some bloody expansion packs for it, and I can like play it, and it'll be cool. So if we get like the same number of expansion packs as bloody Blackstone Fortress did, I will be very excited. This is my excited face.
There was oh, that's what it was. The birthday. Oh, hang on. I hit something weird. That was cool.
Oh,
They-
the new Inquisitor with the flamey.
Yeah. Because I knew there was
Yeah.
something I was very excited about, and it was him.
That's like the store birthday. model
Correct,
this
which
year,
is
I think.
February for us, by the way.
Hmm.
So yes, that I will definitely
Oh,
want to get my hands on.
February.
February for our local. Yeah. So I'm
I
looking
definitely
forward-
want one of those. I'm surprised it's not a lieutenant.
Yes. Well, it wasn't last year. It was a sister.
Oh yeah, true. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So and then they had the Catachan, the female Catachan warrior.
Was she?
She was a birthday one, I'm sure.
Okay.
Jackson, Ripper Jackson. That's what.
Hmm.
I've got her, and it does say stuff on it that I can't quite see
Yeah,
from here.
I'm sure it's over here. I was just looking to see if I could find it, see what was written on it. It's in that pile over there somewhere.
Yeah, my pile's over there. It's good. So, look, this episode is about what do we expect this year. I think when we start getting into that topic, there'll be a few things we hope will come out this year, and then we'll probably expand on that. But definitely, the birthday model, I would want to get one of those. It
Yeah.
does look cool.
I always like me an Inquisitor.
Yes, and that looks like fun. Why wouldn't you want to stab a book? Down with books.
Hey, if it's the Necronomicon,
Yeah. Yes, that would be fun. Okay, so now we go into hobby progress, don't we?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do the hobby progress. Hobby progress. First up, well, good. This is Adam. He's not here, but he has done some stuff. He's working on his Chaos Terminators, and they're pretty bloody, and they look pretty good. Not bad for a man who's locked in a room away from home for the moment. No, he's not in isolation. It's a work thing. But apparently he's talking to his wife, and yes, he actually
It's
took
not far
a
off.
table with him to work on. Took a
Alright.
fold-up table. Yep, pretty keen.
that's dedicated.
That's it. Oh, that's me. Okay, so yeah, I continued my C4 Dark Main. Sexy, thank you. Now I've lost my train of thought. Thanks, Darkman.
Yeah.
Hobby progress,
progress.
yes. So, of course, everyone knows that I was doing the 3,500 point Salamander challenge. That photo there is exactly what I painted last year. All the models. 190 models last year. Then I had a little bit of a lie down. I had a lie down after that. That It's the first model I completed this year, the old school Lilith. I found some old Chikari and hadn't painted. I thought I'd finished the wall. But no.
See, what I keep telling you, there's no such thing as being finished.
They're done now. They are done. There's no more.
Until you get one in the mail or something.
Well, no. They bring out one for a special event, yeah.
Mental note, mail Greg.
No, the trick is, man, every time any of us goes to his place, just take a sprue of Drakari, stick it under a cushion or something.
You're pricks. So 3,500 points salamanders. I did get it done before the end of the year, which is great. And that was for our big salamander blood angel battle, which got postponed till this Sunday. We'll talk about that later. But it has grown. I thought I was done painting salamanders, but guess what I'm painting at the moment? Salamanders. More salamanders. I thought I was done. Let's go move on. This is Mike with a dreadnought looking at me.
Delicious dreadnought. Yeah, I was like, hey, I can probably knock out a dreadnought before the submission date for the large model contest. So what did?
And it looks great.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Also been painting my January allotment for the War on Grey Plastic, which is Gravis Captain and a squad of heavy intercessors.
Excellent. Now, I haven't got anything for you, Mark.
Okay, I finished all my Gene Stealers.
Hooray!
There's no more Gene Stealers.
My God, are you okay?
I do have a little bit of progress on my Tyrannofex, and I can give you a sneak preview right here.
Ooh, exclusive.
Yes, this is not posted anywhere else because, as you can see, I've only painted his butt. But
where else would you start?
Best bit.
yeah, I mean,
get that detail.
Exactly.
That's where all the goo comes from.
Mum, is that you?
I actually, looking around, my pile of shame is quite small. Actually,
sorry,
there's
pile of opportunity.
That guy, the Carnifex, and 2 Rippers, and that's literally all of the 40k models I have left that are white. I think there's a few Primaris and Cypher in a box back there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't play them, so who cares?
Man, you have less unpainted models than I have models on my desk right now.
Well, I mean, I didn't count my Necromunda stuff that is almost all entirely unpainted.
Yeah.
And I just broke one like yesterday, and
for
now
fun.
I have to repair it. So yeah.
If you need spare Necromunda parts, I do have a lot.
I'm hoping that I can get away with glue. It's just one of those Van Sar ponytail things.
Okay.
I have discovered how annoying they can be.
Oh man, you should see the resin ones.
You should see all the Drakari witches. They all had them.
You're telling me bad things here.
I mean, it was fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. Cool. So normally we go into battle report, but we worked out nobody's played a game since last time we spoke, which does mean the ladder has been finalised, but you'll have to wait to find out who took that out. And so we'll talk about, you mentioned War on Grey Plastic, Michael.
I did mention the War on Grey
Do
Plastic.
you want to remind people what that is again?
So, friend of the show, Scotty, has been running a War on Grey Plastic, and he's doing that again. And you can get more details over at his channel or on his Discord. But basically, it's painting a unit of unpainted / undercoated models every month.
It's one squad a month, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1 unit a month. There are other optional challenges, like some people are choosing not to buy any new models until they finish everything on their list. Some people are not buying new models until they paint, like they can buy as many as they paint.
Yeah.
I'm doing none of those because then I wouldn't be able to buy new models.
For 3 years.
Well, if you cut down your pile, then there's nothing to do and you retire.
Oh, they're I'm in no danger of that.
Well, I did add up how many models I've got to do. It's 112. Then I bought some more. So it became 121, and that's not including Necromunda. 3 gangs of Necromunda, so I think I'll be busy. What did I do? 190 last month. Black's a colour. So I think I should do it. I should make it.
What if you paint your grey plastic grey? Grey Knight.
You tell me.
I wonder if there's anybody who's tried to get away with just doing like edge highlight on the grey plastic and just go, yep, that's done.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, there is the 3 paint challenge if you want to play tournaments. The 3 paint challenge, 3 paint minimum. I just jumped into Jolt the other day, and they had a tournament going on, and I saw a few 3 paint only. I went.
I feel like that could be the topic of another episode.
haven't we discussed painting standards in the dim past at some point?
No, nothing to do with painting standards.
3 shades of grey.
Like, the absolute bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like how far are people prepared to go to call it 3 color?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
I've seen someone do like just monochrome, like basically brushed 3 stripes of monochrome on it and be like, yeah, that's 3 colors.
Yeah. So
I just couldn't do it.
Grays.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that people are gamers or painters or law and stuff like that, but even if you're gamers, put a little bit of effort in.
Yeah. My wife's running threat is that she would just dip them in the paint 3 times at 3 different layers.
Yeah. It's 3 colours.
I wish I could have done that for a certain couple of units.
Yeah. I remember doing it for Epic. Just hook them on a coat hanger, bloody paper clip, dip them in, let them dry. That was it. The old minis. Yeah, worked. Anyway. So,
wow.
Well, these are the little tiny ones, right? Little tiny Space Marines from Epic. 3 pots of colour on the base. Job done.
I painted by hand with a brush because I hate myself.
Yeah. Do have a fellow streamer who's challenging themselves to paint a full miniature per day.
Yeah, I saw that. That's intense.
That's nuts. So challenges, that's not my challenge. You measure because of the monochromes. A couple of them, he's doing some shades, giving that nice black, greys, and whites and stuff, which is looking good because he's actually not just a slap. He's actually putting tones through it. So yeah. And he's done a couple of epic things. Went, yep, I'm running out of day. There you go.
That's a model.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if you were doing gene stealers like I do them, it only takes about 20 minutes to do one.
There you go.
And that's at like maximum effort. I think I had it down to like 5 minutes a model or something at one point, but they were coming out pretty crummy.
Cool. We'll talk about painting efforts if you want again this year. That's fine. We can do that.
No. We'll.
We hate to repeat
I'll
ourselves.
dig up some good stories or something for that.
Yeah.
I think.
One thing one of the battle reports that did not happen was the. So I'm looking for the button. There, that's the button. Was the big Salamander versus Blood Angels. The reason I was painting 3,500 points of Salamanders before the end of the year. It did get postponed due to world events, we'll say. But it is back on. It is on this Sunday. It will be on this channel here, RedBelly, twitch.tv/RedBelly, in case you're listening and not viewing. And it has grown from 3,500 to now 4,000 points each. Yes, you are right. We are idiots, but we're going to do it anyway.
Have you got the Monday off?
Yes, I do. I've got the whole of next week off. So
you can play 5,000 points in a day.
I don't want to.
Well, I guess it depends on how many beers you have.
We used to play 2 5,000 points in a day, or 1 10,000.
Okay.
You can totally do it. if you know what you're doing.
To be fair,
no, that's a catch.
I'm guessing that's Anto. So
yeah.
I'm kind of with Mike on this one. I think you can do it.
I reckon we can do it. We might have a lunch break in between, but we'll be able to do it. Does mean I need to paint 3 aggressors, a intercessor squad, and a what's that thing called? Redemptor Dreadnought before then, to make sure I get to the 4,000 points. So I've got myself in a mini challenge because I did start painting 1,000 Suns, but that's got to be put on hold now.
Well, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune did tell you this.
And you do love painting green so very much.
Oh my god!
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but you rolled to see what you should paint, and it told you to paint more salamanders.
It did.
So
the
wheel knew. The wheel knew.
And I did re-roll because I took out the captain, put it on the table, and said, "Go."
Some would say it's a sign from the Emperor.
Yeah. Big E says, "Fuck you, paint green."
Yeah.
It's great. The green part's the easy. It's all the black and all the detail because all the modelling for the green is done with air paint, spray paint. Yeah, so bang, 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 done. And it's just all the details now, which takes time. Be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, just go back when first Primarch came out. I said, I'm not playing Primarch. I'm not buying more Marines. Now I have 4,000 points of them.
Speaking of fuck you, paint green, when are we expecting to get the results of the best painted?
Okay, very good question. Glad you asked. Okay, so the last official date for voting is today.
Cool.
So.
Okay, I did that ages ago.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, we're waiting for some decent numbers to come through. It's a pretty.
Well, I voted. I mean, like, who else do you need?
It's what
I don't have a dog in the race this year either because I
don't.
actually forgot to submit mine. But anyway.
Yeah. So if you haven't voted yet, today is your last day. Dark Mate. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. Do I have the link? Oh, good point. No, yes, it didn't work. Good.
He's voted, so you don't need to post
it's all right.
it now.
Don't have to post it now. Good. What I've seen, there's one category is an absolute runaway winner. The other two are very close. So it's pretty good.
I found it hard this year.
Yeah, that's what I love about this thing we do. It's really pushing everyone to just do that little bit extra. Yeah, and when you can't vote for yourself, it makes it really hard.
Face properly.
Yeah. I can't believe we both put in Blade Guard, though.
I mean, there's also multiple Redemptor Dreadnoughts.
Yes.
Oh, no, the
Librarian.
The Invictor and
Yeah,
a Librarian Dreadnought. Yeah. There was a lot of Dreadnoughts in the large model category.
That's fine. So, we will announce the winners shortly for that. Got to tally them up, see if I don't win, tally them again. Or extend the vote.
You got to tally them. If you lose, you got to talk to the immigration minister, see if you can get them to veto.
That's right. Check their visa. Yeah. That's good times. All right. So we'll stop rambling there, have our short break, and then we'll get into the topic, yeah?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll do that. Oh, press the right button helps. There it is.
We are Rollers, and we have the games for you. Be it board games, card games, dice games, or party games. You name it, and we have it. Find us online at rollersboardgames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at rollersboardgames.
From acoustic to distortion, Storyboard Concept is music that's honest, relaxing, and full-ball rockin' music. Follow Colin at storyboardconcept.bandcamp.com. And we're back! Smooth transition. Oh shit, that's a black screen.
Yep.
What button? And the mics are working. Yeah!
Technical difficulties.
There's only one mic.
And he's not working?
No, I'm not.
Wonderful. Okay, so welcome Wobbly Player Syndrome, and it is looking into the warp. We are doing our predictions of 2022, about 40k, because we don't want to predict about things in the world, because that's just dark. We want to be positive. But
Now we go to Grimdark.
yeah, now we go to Grimdark, which is looking lighter than what the actual thing is at the moment.
Yes, I've spent a significant amount of time this last year trying not to get positive.
Fair, well done, well done. It's terrible.
So, shall we first discuss what we got right
Yes,
last
absolutely.
year?
Mark, I believe you wrote them all down. No, Michael wrote them all down. Someone wrote them all
Right.
down.
Several of us wrote them down.
Yeah, well, Mike wrote them down when we actually made them, and
Yeah.
then kept the file, and then I was nominated, voluntold to go through the thing,
And do a
which I
rewatch.
did, which then I wrote another file, and then found out after I had compiled that Mike had done that. So, yeah, so we've got 2 copies, and surprisingly, they match.
Dun, dun,
Egads.
dun.
I know. It's almost like we've done this before.
I
Cool.
know.
So how this usually works, we have done this before. We usually go through what we talked about last year, what came true, what didn't. Then we'll go into what we expect to see it happens, and then we'll actually have what we want to see it happen.
Yes, distinctly different.
Yes, very different. Very, very different. So, predictions from last year. I do have a list in front of me, but I don't want to talk. Someone else can. If you've got it in front of you, go for it, Mark.
I've got it. Well, I can talk about what you predicted, if you like.
Sure. What did I
And
predict?
start from there. You predicted that there would be new Eldar models.
New Eldar Guardian models, I put.
You also predicted that armies and codexes would be released with Age of Sigmar style data cards.
Yeah, I think it was more that less options. I think that's what I think it
you-
was.
Yeah, well, yeah, the less options for units was the
Yeah.
other thing listed around that. A new Primaris Lieutenant, which I believe we got.
But I believe that was a joke.
And
That
stock
was-
levels being terrible all year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the stock levels was the shooting the fish in the barrel one. We knew that was going to be the case. But to say that they did put more of that made to order out for things that did run out, which is good.
Now, your Codex predictions for the next 5
Oh, we won't.
codexes
We'll
coming
go.
out?
Stop. Hold there. We'll go to the other one. We can
Okay.
do that next because I
All
forgot
right,
about that.
No worries. All right, well, then we'll go to other people then.
Yeah.
So, from what I got, we'll start with the people who are actually here, and then we'll
Yeah.
move on to the absentees.
Yeah.
So Mike was limited edition Katashan Captain in October, which, yeah, that was a miss. Primaris treatment for Eldar.
Yeah, new Eldar
which-
models.
Yeah.
We kind of got that with the Guardians, didn't we?
Well, I mean, it'll
it's the
depend
new
on
models
what they're
that-
doing when their new codex comes
Yeah.
out.
So we don't know what
Yeah.
the stats will be like.
New Orc models, knocked it out
Well
of the park. So that's all I've got for Mike.
Okay, because
Proc,
I
you've got more,
also
yeah.
wrote down. I also wrote down that I predicted that I wanted to see some progress from the storylines from Psychic Awakening.
Yeah, well, that was for like wants and things, though, wasn't it?
Okay, in my predictions I didn't separate them out like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I also predicted that we should. Oh, was that a want maybe? Where I was
Fulgrim?
talking about the
New line.
Fulgrim. Yeah.
Didn't you get a new line, but in 30k?
I mean, I do have a 30k line
Yeah.
finally. But
yeah.
No, we'll
Yeah,
go with
maybe,
your list, Mark, because
yeah.
otherwise, yeah.
Well, anyway.
What about
Yeah.
yourself? What did you do?
So I predicted some Xenos getting some love, which they basically did.
Orcs definitely did.
Drukhari, Gene Stealer cults got some.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch. And new Primaris Lieutenant.
Excuse me.
Which is my dumb throwaway.
But we
one.
didn't get one, did we? We were talking about this. The celebration ones weren't Primaris Lieutenants. It was the sister last year. I'm sure it was the sister.
That new one, the most recent one was a sergeant, I think.
Yeah, the guy with the chain,
the one,
sword,
yeah,
orc head. Yep.
the one where you had to buy a bunch of stuff to qualify to buy him or something.
Oh, I've just got him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
G'day, Hoff.
I don't know. I'm sure there would have been a lieutenant released for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee there was a lieutenant in there somewhere.
Yeah, like
had to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
All right. We'll say it was.
I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure one came out.
Yeah.
It was the throwaway, like, yeah, tomorrow will be tomorrow, kind of prediction.
Yeah. What else you got?
So, that was pretty much it for my general predictions. Everything else was like wants and codexes and stuff.
Yeah. I forgot about the next 5 codex release. Whoops.
So, I'll go down the
Quickly
list
write
of
that down.
absentees just for interest. So, Isabel wanted more female minis across all the armies.
Yeah.
Was predicting that, and was predicting the release of an Emperor mini in 30k. So that's like 2 strikes, I think. Noble, but a miss.
No, I mean, we did get more female guardians. We got more females in Necromunda.
Yeah.
Like, several of the newer kits actually have female squad members that have come out.
And I'm
Do they?
sure.
Okay. I haven't paid that much attention to the releases, so.
Well, yeah, like things like the new Necromunda stuff. Heaps of that has like,
That one was
female
last year,
minis
wasn't
in
it?
there.
That was the one from last year.
Don't know.
Yeah.
There's another Sisters and the one that came with the Custody and Sister of Silence.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess we can call that a
win.
1 for 2.
We won't tell her. She's not here. She missed. Yep.
Anto wanted a Maelstrom mission pack.
Yeah.
Which we definitely didn't get. New guard faction, Steel Legion or the Forge World one he put.
Well, you got Kill Team release.
Yeah, we got a 10-man for Kill Team, but
yeah. And that's all I got.
All right, books.
For general predictions.
Quick rundown of the books that we predicted.
Okay, so you were predicting Eldar, Imperial Fists, Thousand Suns, Salamanders, and Chaos Space Marines.
So I got 1. Yeah.
Mike was Chaos. Didn't really specify what part of Chaos.
That's
all
a
of it.
secret.
What else?
Then there was
Well,
Eldar.
it's always correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eldar, Orcs, and Marines scattered between them. Which is probably pretty on the money, actually, thinking back on it.
Well, I
Got
mean,
Orcs,
we're about
Templar.
to get Eldar and Chaos.
Yeah, and you got Black Templar, Grey Knight. Not Grey Knights. Black Templar was the recent one. And, yeah.
Yeah, mine were way off. Tyranids and Dark Eldar, and I didn't actually predict the other 3. I don't know. We all got
Chikari
bored or
got-
something.
Chikari book was this year, was it? Must have been this year, because that came out.
Yeah, but Nids is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Well, you got 1. It looks like we did say
They're
one.
like just sneaking our rules in under the mission pack thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright.
and then Anto was Dark Angels / Imperial Fists, Imperial Guard, Eldar, Orcs, and Tau.
We got 2.
And then Isabel was Tau, Eldar, Chaos Factions, Space Marine Factions, and Sisters of Battle.
Fair enough. We were so on the money. We didn't play favourites to any of our own factions at all. Cool. Alright, so now we go into this year. Darkman's already said he's expecting squats. Be interesting to see. Oh, there's the camera. There it is. I'm back. Hi. We've already got releases of G Steel Cults and what are the other guys? Custodians just come out. We've also got talk of Tau already being talked about. And we've already got the new box set with Eldar and Chaos. So it's a pretty big list of some hints and stuff where they're going to go this year, would you not say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your predictions? What do you think will be happening this year, Michael?
Oh, geez. Trying to decide between what I think will happen and what I would like to happen. What do
I like to see the Knight Rider car in 40k.
Oh.
Alright, Mark, you got something?
I'm just having trouble differentiating between think and want.
Yeah.
Everything I keep going to say is a want, not a think.
Alright, well, I can start. I've wrote a couple of things down, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I reckon it's meant to be a year of chaos, but I reckon chaos is still going to be disappointed that the other factions will still be included in one book. They won't have a Emperor's Children supplement and a World Eaters supplement.
So you think we'll just get Chaos Space Marines as a big book?
I do. But I think we will get a book for Dark Mechanicus cultists. I think we'll see them get their own sort of look to them. I'm hoping, and I think that might happen if it's going to be a year of Chaos. I also think Chaos Knights will get their book before Imperial Knights. And I'm expecting a new tank for the Guard. A new avatar. I think that's already a big rumour and not that hard to pick, but a new avatar.
So are these your Codex predictions or your general
No, that's my
predictions?
general predictions.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I reckon will happen. One model can make a difference. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying. There are a lot of rumours going on around as well, such as a new rulebook being released. I don't know if we want to talk about rumours or we talk about predictions first and then go into rumours.
Well, I mean, we're kind of gazing into the warp, so,
Yeah.
a rumour is as good as a prediction.
True.
Yeah, I guess as far as a prediction, I'm going to continue my prediction from last year that we would see progress from the Psychic Awakening storylines, and I think we're going to keep seeing that.
Yeah, because they do seem to be
Hopefully.
pivoting back to, like, Vigilus and that, so...
Yeah. Like, the whole, what was it, Orcs and Nids thing, that was the Psychic Awakening stuff, like...
Yeah, that's where they're going back, yeah.
And so we're going to be getting Eldar, so hopefully there'll be some layout from that as well.
Yep. Yeah, new
So
Eldar.
that's cool.
It'd be interesting to see what happens since they released the railgun for Tau being absolutely devastating.
Oh, man.
Well, if you think about it, though, I mean, the railguns for so many years were just rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, once you put it on a tank that was 4+ to hit, and then all the other shenanigans and stuff people were playing, and all of that stuff, they were really not worth taking because it was one dice.
Yeah.
And more often than not, more than half the time you were missing. So they just weren't worth taking. So no, like I haven't seen a Tau player field like a Hammerhead or anything like that since they released.
Yeah.
Yeah, but counterpoint, fuck railguns.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I hate going against
when they were good. It was nice
True.
to not get fucked by railguns for a change.
The thing is that, I mean, I play Nids, so I mean, bolters have, like, whether it's strength 4 or strength 10 doesn't really worry. Like, I don't care. I still die either way. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I always felt that the railguns just completely weren't worth it.
Yeah.
And evidently a lot of the other Tau players thought the same. So it's nice to see, a potential excuse to dust a few of those off.
It's amazing how many
Is that
social images I've seen of people painting Tau now going, wow. Yeah. All
like
these...
that, the whole exploding railgun thing though, like it just hurts my brain. It's like, yeah, we're gonna fire subsonic munitions out of a railgun.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yep.
Just make it better at being a railgun. Don't make it not be a railgun anymore. It's weird. If it makes Tau like viable again, that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess it's just weird.
I don't know.
And I don't like Tau.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still hate Tau, but I mean, yeah, I guess you could. I mean, they do those whole electromagnetic catapult things on the aircraft carrier, and they're adjustable. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you be able to do subsonic?
It's just like, yeah,
you
now
could
our
have a
railgun.
railgun.
Our railgun fires a subsonic exploding projectile. It's like that's like the opposite of what railguns do.
Yeah, I mean, it defies the point.
Yeah,
that. But
just
I
put
mean,
a rocket launcher on it if that's what you want, you fucks.
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, who am I to dictate what people do with their stupid cannon? I mean,
Darkmane's hoping for a mobile pub for squats. Yeah, you know, they got the Orc mech shop. Have a nice little mobile pub. Everyone goes to the tavern.
I suggest that an Orc battle wagon could probably be kit bashed into making that a reality.
Fucking squat super heavy Leviathan battle tank when?
Alright.
Yeah.
Are we going to see more squats this year?
No.
No.
Yeah, maybe a Necromunda, not in 40k.
Yeah, or either that, or maybe they'll sneak one into like Blackstone or something again, or you know.
Fair enough. Yes, and kill team. Yeah, squad and kill team. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, kill team. That actually would be really cool.
Yeah, it'd have a lot of happy people. Yeah. So they did have a rumor. 12 days of Christmas, 24 days of Christmas advent calendar. So one of the things was an image that looked like it was going to be the avatar. So, and I've heard that the avatar will be meant to be the size of the one you get from Forge World. So actually, it's tall avatar as opposed to
slightly bigger than a Marine.
I mean, it'd want to be as big as a fucking Wraith Knight at least, basically.
That'd be terrifying.
I mean, it is supposed to be the manifestation of their god or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like
it should be like big enough to compete with like the Primarchs.
Yeah,
You know?
I had it in my head the size of the new Nagash sort of height.
He's pretty big though.
Yeah, because he's up in the air.
Yeah, he's a tall boy. Like. He gets off.
I love how it's just
it's pretty big.
I just happen to have one in reach.
That's actually part of the game. You've got to say a model, and hopefully he doesn't go, oh, this one!
Yeah, it's
What do you mean, Dark Elf cheerleader? What?
Alright, so we're going to get see some Elder love. We're pretty aware of that because of the book. What else? What are you guys thinking now? Now that I've spilt my thoughts across the table,
so I mean,
mopped it up.
I think that we're definitely going to get our Chaos Space Marines and Tau fairly early in the year. If they're doing a starter set, that they have to.
Yeah.
After that, though, I don't know. I want to say Ultramarines will get their supplement finally. Either that or Salamanders or any of the other chapters that haven't gotten their supplement yet.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to a Salamander. Imperial Fist.
Who else haven't we had codexes? I mean, Nids, of course. I mean,
Nids.
that would be great.
Yeah.
But I, as much as I want it, I don't think it'll happen. As I said, it's like the dog ate their home, like a Hormagaunt's been gnawing on it, and they just stuff a page or two under the door of the guys to try and save it from being eaten before they have to rewrite them again.
Yes, Darkmane, he did say Ultramarines, and I still allow him to come on this podcast. I don't know. What are you going to do? But he did also ask, Michael, does he have a model of my Gran? So, that's the Dark Elf Witch cheerleader, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Dark Elf cheerleader.
Here's your Gran. It's looking good.
Technically, it could be a Dark Oath chieftain.
There you go. That was her younger years.
If it was my Gran, I would have got out the Nurgle Plague Toad.
Yeah, we're missing a lot of codexes.
That's fair.
I'm gonna say Imperial Guard this year.
I hope so. But they're one of the
probably late, because as I said, I mean they're at the point where they're now being FAQ'd and stuff.
The balance sheet.
Like if they want to maintain their whole we're balancing the game and all of that, they're gonna have to do something about Guard. And the only really valid thing they can do is a codex at this point.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they were doing those FAQs for things like Guard and Knights makes me think that those codexes aren't super soon. Maybe end of the year, but they want to be fucking doing
that'd be late.
Before next year, surely. I mean, we're running out of codexes to do, aren't we?
You'd think so.
Well, as I said, I mean, we've had some of the generic stuff, but we haven't gotten a lot of the factions. I mean, Space Marines is a good example. I mean, there's so many chapters that haven't had their supplement yet. So
True. But
I wonder if they're just going to bomb us with a whole bunch of them 1 month, and they just go, "Oh, hey, here's all the Marines you've been waiting for the last 3 years."
Well, that's interesting because
Warp has just got all the fucking supplements in it.
Yeah,
because there was at the start of night they did really well with pumping out some codexes pretty consistently. It sort of dropped away last year. Obviously, world events would have an impact on that. So it'd be interesting to see if they can get back to a new codex every couple of months. Because as you said, there's still a lot out there that haven't got them.
Because I would have thought that, I mean, because they've had such a hiatus from releasing them, I would have thought that they'd have a lot of time to polish them and or make them. So, I don't see it being inconceivable that they could just go, "Oh, hey, Blat, here you go, there's half a dozen Marines," or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most Marine supplements are pretty light. Most of the ones who are left aren't very different from Codex.
Yeah.
Your Ultras, your Fists, all that shit, they're not...
Well, Ultras is usually character heavy.
Yeah.
So they wind up being bigger, but... I mean, even if they just went Space Marine characters, bam, and they just hit with everything, and that would probably appease people.
Codex Super Friends!
Yeah.
All the Space Marine HQs.
It's like a yearbook.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
So there is a rumour that a new Space Marine Codex will come out to refresh them, which maybe they will throw the characters in of the other factions of the Ultramarines, Salamanders, Imperial Fists, etc. Because as you said, they're not that much different. They don't have unique units like the other ones who do have their own books.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's an indication they may be backing off this whole we have one book for the generic stuff, and then you can have your supplements for your different factions. I think that pissed a lot of people off, whereas having one book, that has the lot in it.
I think it would piss less people off if they had it inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because they did it for Marines and nothing else.
Yeah.
Weird.
So, I don't know.
One thing we probably will see, as Greg was saying, is we're going to see Chaos Knights, because the New Year preview had what is clearly a Chaos Knight in there.
Yes, very
and
excited.
if they don't pair that with a new Chaos Knight Codex, they're loonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, GW is going to GW, but
that is fair.
I I hope that applying logic to this situation is the appropriate course of action.
Logic in 40k.
But yeah, I guess my prediction is that Codex releases will possibly step up considerably, and we may have difficulty keeping up.
So my only question, if that's going to happen, didn't Age of Sigma just come out with a new? There's a new bot. It wasn't a new version. It's just a new battle box.
Yeah, it's just a new. It's the same thing as the Chaos.
Okay, so it's just a new battle box. So
it's just a battle box.
Yeah, I just wonder if they were going to start pumping out new War Scrolls. They're called, aren't they, for them?
The battle tomes.
That's it. That's what I said. That's what I said the first time. First time. Yeah.
My prediction: we'll get another fucking Primarch. Lol. You'd want to. They're overdue. They're supposed to do it this year.
There was a big tease for Fulgrim, wasn't there, last year?
Yeah, there was a lot of teasing for Fulgrim.
Yeah. So, is this going to be the year? Is that going to be the big character that comes out for the Chaos book?
I mean, that'd be cool if we got like a proper like Slanesh Chaos 40k release. That'd be cool with Fulgrim.
I'd love to see an Emperor's Children Codex come out and have, you know, the units of Noise Marines and actually release Noise Marines.
Yeah, with Noise Marines and with some of the cool new shit they put in AOS, but for 40k, just some cool shit like that.
Yeah, because Slanesh got quite a bit of love in AOS.
Yeah, a lot, and some of that stuff is really cool.
Yeah. So I'd like to see
that.
that.
I'm just going back through our wants from last year, and some of that stuff was in it.
Yeah, I wanted another Primarch, and I still want another Primarch. And it's going to be the Lion or Fulgrim.
Yeah. That works.
Oh, I don't know.
I think Fulgrim's probably the more likely to happen.
I think Fulgrim's more likely to not happen. I think they'd much rather go with a Lion or somebody else.
Well,
I figure if it's a loyalist, it's got to be the Lion. And if it's a Chaos Primarch, like they've been teasing Fulgrim like nobody's business.
You know what I'm gonna say? If they do bring one, it's gonna be bullshit. Because
it's going to be Lehman Russ, is what you say.
No. It'll be Ferrus Manus or fucking Sanguinius or something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It will be the one that you think is the most bullshit because honestly, they brought Bobby G back. And that actually made me angry originally because I'm like, he's like poisoned, and
it's like, why did you bring back one of the ones who was like basically canonically dead? Yeah,
exactly.
That was definitely dead.
There's only like 5 of them on gap year to the bloody Eye of Terror, and they could have brought literally any of them back, and then they bring Bobby G. So why, as I said, why not Ferrus Manus or Sanguinius?
Why not Ferrus Sanguinius? They'll bring back a metal Sanguinius.
That's it.
Fuck.
We could rebuild him.
Yeah. We could bring back the Lion, which would make sense in the lore and in everything, every fiber of the game. But no, that's what you'd expect us to do.
Yeah, he's the only one who hasn't fucked off outside the Imperium.
Yeah.
Bring back Falcon.
Just a very sleepy boy.
Bring back Falcon.
Boy.
Falcon.
So yeah, you can't tell we don't have a beef about.
No, very passionate. You can tell.
La passion.
So,
but yeah, I'd love to see like a new Fulgrim model with like a big Slanesh release. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do with the Chaos Knights. If they're still just going to use the 2 sort of faction things that they had.
I'm still going to reiterate my wants from last year. I want Chaos Custodes and I want Legion of the Damned.
Legion of the Damned. That'd be nice. I don't think we're going to see that. One of the rumors is the Eldar Codex will not just be Eldari, it will also be Harlequins and Corsairs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get some fucking Exodites back in here. I I want my dragon, Eldar! Bring back Exodite's cowards. I'm writing that down.
See, Darkbane's heard Corsairs as well, so yeah. So there's a few people saying Corsairs will be coming back. Which would be interesting. I've played against them once. I thought that was a pretty boring game. Well, I didn't enjoy the game, but that was more the opponent than the actual army. So.
But the Corsairs?
Yeah. Played against Corsairs once. Didn't enjoy the game, but that was, as I said, it was more the opponent than the actual army itself. It was just a very...
I almost tabled them. I didn't understand why people were so mad at him.
Anyway, we won't go into that on air. He could be listening. He could be our number one listener.
Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
No.
Another rumour. So we're talking about Space Marine getting a new book. We've got Space Marines about what we want to see happen. Another rumour is Dreadnoughts are going to be more powerful than they are now. Including a heavy Primaris Dreadnought release.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like fucking, obviously that's what we need, right?
Yeah.
More powerful Dreadnoughts, because they're notoriously weak right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, railguns.
Yeah, just give them railguns. Dual fucking railgun contemptors, fucking...
They were originally STC plans anyway.
The heavy Primaris Dreadnought is meant to be armed with multi-melters.
I mean, look, if it comes out, I'll buy one so fast there'll be a heavy Primaris-shaped Dreadnought hole in my wall.
Yeah.
But, we don't need it.
No, it just reminds me. We'll complain. We go, no, we don't need that. But I'm going to buy it. Sounds like the hot cross buns.
I'll fucking
realistically
buy the shit out of that. Never complain about hot cross buns because I buy them constantly.
Oh, I see them go. I can't believe they're out so early. As I'm putting 4 of them into my bag. I can't believe they're out so early. I can't wait to eat these.
No, I refuse to buy them on principle unless it's Easter.
Well, for me.
That's fine.
Yeah. Another rumour is night fighting rules coming back.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
All of these rumours with the rulebook almost sound like addition things. Like, once you start messing with phases and stuff,
yeah.
I'm like...
No, that's the big one, isn't it?
Are we hearing rumours of 10th Ed?
Yeah.
I was about to say, that reminds me of a joke I was going to make earlier. Codex that we're going to get, Imperial Agents, because the edition's about to end.
That's a good prediction. That said, it may happen without them getting one.
Yeah.
How we just did that whole
it won't be a Codex.
It'll be released in White Dwarf again.
It'll be like what was it, 5th or 6th Ed, where they just released 2 or 3 codexes and then went, you know what, we're just going to the next one.
Well, if it's a new rulebook being released and all these changes, including the rumour that no more separate psychic phase will actually be rolled into other phases, that's a big change to the game.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's not like an FAQ. Oh yeah, we updated the rulebook to be more in keeping with some little rules changes. That's like major structure.
Yeah, that's a new edition change. That's not a little one.
And that's why I'm sort of like, I don't know. And see, the thing is that, we've had these rumblings, and we were looking into Age of Sigmar and some of the Apocalypse as well.
Yeah.
Where we were going, maybe they're looking to shake up the turn structures and things like that, and have initiative orders and things like that. And none of it has eventuated.
If they shook up the way turn order works, there would be a fucking revolt in the fandom.
Well, to be honest, any time they change anything in the rulebook, there is a fandom revolt.
But I'm just like, if they were going to change one thing, changing that would drive players bonkers. Have you played Bolt Action or something like that has a markedly different turn structure?
No.
It does your head in. It's cool, but if they did that to 40k, I'd lose it.
But I mean, as I said, I mean, you've played the new Apocalypse rules.
No.
Would you haven't?
No, I don't think I have.
I really like it.
I've played, generally speaking, when we used to play like Floorhammer, we played like cohort initiatives where, random cohorts were activated. So
yeah, so the
possibly
new
something more like that.
Yeah, so the new Apocalypse does that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So potentially you can get multiple goes. The thing is, though, that it also has it so that rather than just standing there on turn one watching half your army be vaporized, you actually get... It's not until the end of the turn that all the damage is resolved. So all your stuff gets to fight in that turn, regardless of how much damage you take.
That's why we have cohort-based activations in Floorhammer, so that, the 60,000 points over there doesn't wipe out half your army before you get a turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And nobody complained about the Apocalypse rules. The new Apocalypse rule set, by all accounts, nobody had anything to say, and we thought maybe they might bring some of that over into 40k.
Oh, the only problem with that into 40k would just be a lot of models on the table, a lot of individual models and individual actions would just be a nightmare trying to maintain that. I like it. I really enjoy Apocalypse and how they do it, but I just
But as I said, I don't think there'd be that much of a revolt over changing that up so that potentially you had the potential for an extra turn or to steal a turn off somebody else or things like that.
Be interesting. I really enjoy Apocalypse. I wish I could play that more often. I do like the way it runs, but it works well for large forces. When I say large forces, knights, multiple tanks.
Oh yeah, 100%. But as I said, I mean, and streamlining psychic phases and things like that.
Yeah, so
could potentially be rolled into figuring out how, because I mean, if you're going to wipe out the psychic phase, I mean, why not look at the rest of the phases and see how they work?
No,
which does my head in because we only just got the psychic phase back.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the thinking behind that is. We're talking about this off air. Is it meant to give chances to the forces like Drakari and Tau who don't have psychic powers?
When did we lose the psychic phase?
We only
it was in
we
7th.
No, weren't you doing things in your shooting phase in 7th? Or was that 6th?
I think it might have been 6th.
Because yet again, like when I play Heresy, I don't use fucking Psychers, so...
I know, I'm definitely sure in 7th we had the psychic phase. Not that I used it.
I honestly have to check because my brain is just slush today.
Yeah, as I said, it'd be interesting how they do it, whether it is a situational to do a psychic power, or it will be in, like, instead of shooting, I'm going to cast this. Or someone's shooting at you. Well, I'm going to use my psychic ability to stop you, if it's going to be more like that.
Well, I mean, we already have those. Like, instead of shooting, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of units that have those abilities. If this model doesn't shoot, it may do this.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with that one. If that rumour is true. I still don't understand why get rid of the psychic phase. You may... Thousand Suns have a very large psychic phase. What does that do to them?
Yeah, I just don't believe that rumor. It's too whack.
Yeah, and as I said, I mean, we would see more signs of a new edition coming if they were going to go into that level of changing the turn.
You would think.
Yeah, where were we? Off topic? No?
Goals?
Goals.
What were our goals last year? What are our goals this year?
Sure, I don't have that up anymore.
Goals. So, Greg had goals of continuing streaming.
Did that.
Which he did. Paint all his models.
Oh, well. 190 is a pretty good dip into it, I think.
And play a game of Necromunda.
Which we did. Played 2 games.
Nice.
There you go. So you have succeeded in everything you except for painting everything.
Well, If I give them to my son, does that mean I don't own them? And then I'll take them off him again?
So, Mike was try and finish some of your projects. Paint all your Dark Angels. And
I wrote
Anto.
that down as paint more Dark Angels.
When I went back in, you were aiming high. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
I wrote that I wanted to play with a fully painted army.
Yeah.
You've probably bought more Dark Angels over the course of that year.
I think last year I established that I painted 7 or 8 units.
I mean, you've definitely.
I probably bought more than that.
Yeah.
So my goal for last year was to paint 2 models, and I painted, I think, 16.
So we've got one person's aimed up here and coming here, and then you've aimed here and just got up here.
Hey, my second goal though, to play a game using a fully painted army, I did play with my cult, who are fully painted last year.
There you go.
So.
So we've done pretty well. I can see Anto was paint what he has. He actually completed it. He got to a stage he had nothing left to paint.
He said he wanted to attend more games, play more Necromunda, and play Mike, because he's never played him.
There you go. Even Isabel had a goal.
Isabel wanted to finish her Necromunda models and play a game.
Which I don't think she ever achieved.
No. No, totally not.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So that was all the goals.
Goals this year. I think we talked about that with the Grey, War on Grey. I got 120 models I want to get done. That's it. That's my goal. More content for the RLG group is the other big goal.
More content for the content throne.
Yeah.
My goal is to finish painting all of my unpainted Tyranids.
Yep,
And
you
I
did
think
16
that's
models
reasonable.
last year. You can do it this year, easy.
I'm hoping I can do 4. So I'm doubling my goal from last
Your
year.
life will be changing pretty soon, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah. I honestly, I think 4 models is ambitious.
There'll be late nights, mate.
There'll be late
I painted
nights.
3 this week.
Well,
yeah, I've got to get 8 done before Sunday, so there you go.
As of next week, my life will include up to and possibly more than 100% more crying.
Yes.
And that's just me. That's
Such
not even
crying.
to do
Yeah.
with yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to paint that Ripper Swarm either.
Just try and keep things out of the way of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very exciting.
So
Okay, we've got our goals. You're writing all these down, right? So we've got to talk about them next year, right?
Yeah, I'm writing all the things down.
So yeah, as I said, big goal for me is the RLG group as a whole, to get more active members. We've got 30 odd members. We didn't have 30 members sort of active last year. Look, life events, we understand the reasons why, obviously, but we want to add more content to our YouTube, our streaming here, more battles, reports, and things like that. So that's a big one. I'm hoping to get help from the RLG group.
Yeah, every year I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that, and then the last 2 years have been the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but I suspect that my time is going to get even more
You'll
difficult.
be able to do so much writing up late at night. You'll be able to just type away more content. Be great because you won't be able to sleep.
Well, people just want to read my rants and raves.
Do they ever? I think it was the #1 request. I'm sure. Alright, so predicting next year. We have touched on a few things. We're going to go Codex. Quickly do the next 5 Codex releases that we don't already know. Because we know Tau looks like it will be next.
And probably Chaos.
Wow.
Space Marines.
yeah, I mean, Tau, Chaos, and
Eldar.
Eldar are like your big ticket, obvious ones.
Yeah, so what... Or could it be just 2 then? What we don't know about, do you think will come out this year?
Garden Knights. Chaos Knights, probably.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting at too.
Yeah, you're probably right. Chaos Knights, and as I said, my prediction was the Chaos Knight will come out before an Imperial Knight Codex.
Yeah. See, the thing is that I can't have my predictions all be the same. I think you're right, but on that basis, I'm going to say Imperial Agents and what else? What else hasn't got one?
If you put the wish list in, my wish list definitely has Imperial Agents to cover Inquisitors and Assassins.
Albums of the Emperor.
But hang on, isn't that already Custodes?
That's Custodes and Sisters.
Ah, well.
Silence.
In 30k, it was a separate book.
They've sort of bundled together those two. But I do like the fact you can... Sorry.
I'll go Imperial Agents and Ultramarines.
Fair enough. That's your wish list, was it?
No, that's the Codex.
Oh, it's the Codex you think. Okay.
And I'm only doing that because I think you guys are right, but I don't want to have the same predictions.
Yeah.
Because that's boring, and if we're all wrong, then...
That's true. You know. That is true.
If we're wrong, then you'll be statistically more likely to be right. Because there's not that many that are coming out.
To be honest, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but...
Other rumours, just is it changing some of the scoring for secondaries, changing some of the secondaries completely, so it sounds like a bit of an overhaul. That's the Grand Tournament book that gets released each year. These are the rumours. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I really like that you've got secondaries in it. I really think if you're playing a mission that has a secondary, that has to be one of your secondaries. I think that's... And then you get to choose 2 others. That's just my thought on that.
The problem with the secondaries is it relies on everyone having a codex.
No, it doesn't.
Most of the good secondaries come in people's codex.
Yeah, you get 3 secondaries.
From what I experienced.
You get 3 secondaries in each codex. And then you've got all the ones over the Grand Tournament 2021, 22.
What he's saying...
They're more specific, army specific, yeah.
The good ones are army specific, and people who don't have a codex don't have those.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't play Mudrakari properly because they're pretty shit. But I play all witch army, so if I wasn't playing all witch army, it would probably suit some of the ones in there.
I don't know. I just use the generic ones myself.
Yeah. But I think how everyone takes the retrieve Octavius Rod, whatever it is. Retrieve something data. I can't remember.
What?
Rod. The one that everyone uses because it's one of the easiest ones to get your points for.
I don't use that.
Oh, well, you're not everyone.
Maybe that's why we lose all our games.
Well, a very common one.
I don't lose all my games. I've done okay.
Yeah, the ladder was pretty good this year.
I don't pick them because they're like easy. I pick them because I want to do it or because my army is good at that.
Yeah, exactly. I try to do it. So depending on what we're playing, who are playing against us, it seems a bit more thematic to do it this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we're not tournament players.
No, we're not tournament players.
No.
No.
What else? I don't know where I was going with all that. Anyway, it's good. We've rambled. Anyone else want to say anything? What are predictions for our viewers? What do you reckon you'll see? What do you want to see this year? That's the other one. What do we want to see? Of course, I want to see a new Imperial Guard book with a new tank. Which weirdly
enough, I'm looking at the wants that I had from last year, and I mean, new Orc Minis was on that, and I got that. Some of my wants are pie in the sky. A new Eldar models was on there.
Yep.
That was a good one too. I don't know. Yeah, as I said, I still want Legion of the Damned. I still want a Loyalist Fulgrim clone. I still want new Guard Minis.
New Yarick in an exosuit.
I still want Chaos Custodes. I still want a Loyalist Primarch for 40k.
Yeah.
I
I'd like to
What else
see
would be cool?
a Dark Mechanicus / Chaos Cultists have their own entity. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Cultists becoming useful. That'd be nice.
As I said, like another friggin' Primarch on either side, preferably both sides.
Yeah.
And Exodites, you cowards.
I'd like more fluff, actually.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because
There's a bit of fluff.
every quarter are we getting new fluff for a fee?
Well, the last few
Are we
codexes have been really, like, short on that kind of stuff. Like,
Well, how often can you write the same history? How often can you write the same history in each codex? Yes, I know.
They
what
add
happened.
to it.
The-
They add
the-
to it in each codex. So
normally they do, and like one
The
of the
Marine
things
one
I
they did.
noticed, one of the things I noticed in the Marine ones was not a lot said about the whole Primaris reinforcements coming and stuff, and
Yeah.
they made a deal about some chapters not liking them and stuff like that, and I wanted more of that kind of content.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been more of that specifically. Like, they went into detail about what happened with the Flesh Terrors. That's all been established as canon. There was heaps of expanding upon how the new, like in the most recent codex specifically, there was a whole lot of stuff about how they changed the force organization, how the new Marines fit in, what all the different new units fit in as within those force organizations.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot, but it was mostly through like tables and lists and ancillary information, not just written down verbatim.
Yeah.
And
in
Grey
the lore
Knights. And Grey Knights, there's no mention of Primaris
of
at
them
all.
getting Primaris. Yeah, that's.
There's
I'll be curious if
and
they
there's
do
no
that.
reason, and there's no mention that of them, of a reason why, or
Well, I mean, the
anything
primary
like
reason why would be that they didn't make them because they weren't a legion, so they didn't get them.
that. So
Like the Grey Knights didn't exist when the Primaris project was started.
yeah, so and that's just it. Like I wasn't. I wanted to see what their take on Primaris was.
I think it would be cool. Just a thing that is never going to happen, but I think would be cool. If they did something with the leftover Primaris Marines, like the Primaris Marines from the two
The
Fallen
chapters that have
Legion,
been,
well, from the Chaos Legions and also from the two Forgotten Legions. I think it'd be cool if they did something with that, beyond just don't wake them up kind of thing.
Well, I mean, there's all that stuff about the Blood Ravens as well, being from Magnus.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
clearly Thousand Suns, much as GW has been pretending that they're not.
Yes. But yeah, not all chapters went over to Chaos. Come on. That makes sense, though. Not everyone... You read some of the books of the Heresy, not everyone thought, no, this is a good idea, let's hang out with Chaos. Someone said, I'm going to pass on that.
Usually it was, hey guys, showing up for the meeting as ordered, sir.
Yeah, what's with the extra limb? That's new.
How come you guys have got bolters and I've not allowed one?
Yeah. Raven Blood. Okay. 10th edition to be set in Warhammer 50k. So pushing it forward.
Oh.
The Emperor dies and it's reborn.
Yeah, I mean, the Flesh Terrors, like, they actually resolve it in the, was it in one of the books, or was it in the Blood Angels book, Codex? But, like, basically, the Flesh Terrors showed up to Baal because the Dark Blood Angels were getting fucksawed, and they got rescued at the last minute by the Primaris. And pretty much the Flesh Terrors were like, we don't like these Primaris, they're shit. And so the Chapter Master punched on with the Primaris Commander. When the Primaris Commander told him to get fucked and punched him in the face, Gabriel Seth was like, okay, I like these guys now. That's cool. Because they told him to get fucked and punched him in the face. They was like, yeah, they seem like Flesh Terrors.
Yeah.
That was pretty much how they resolved it. They punched on, and they decided they were good enough, I guess.
I remember there was like a concern because they thought, oh yeah, these guys aren't going to have like the red thirst and black rage and that.
He kind of fluffed it out as Gabriel Seth was a super emo. And he didn't like the Primaris because he wanted the Flesh Tearers to all die. He was like, we're irredeemable, we need to just go off and quietly kill ourselves on the Emperor's behalf.
The Dwarf Slayers of the 40k.
Yeah, he had a real Slayer vibe before the Primaris showed up, and so that was kind of implied to be the reason he didn't like them. And so he actually liked the fact that they might not be quite as fucked up as his guys. But when they were, and he was like, well, I guess we'll all just go be cool then.
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. I believe you. So, yeah, what I was saying about the story moves on every quarter, isn't that quarterly...
Oh, the seasons thing?
The seasons, that's it.
Yeah, I haven't read up what they're planning to do with that, to be honest.
Basically, it's a new war zone each quarter.
Yeah, that was like, I felt like people were getting all bent out of shape about it, but I'm like, having a consistent set of tournament rules for 6 months or something, that's a good thing. You know?
Yeah.
That's what systems like Magic the Gathering do. They're like, you know, this is the block of rules until it changes, and then this is the block of rules, so that you don't have to worry as much about shit cycling in and out. There's a more consistent date for that.
Yeah. No, the only thing I have issues with is they keep bringing out the armies of renown in them. I go, oh man, if that's my army, do I need that book? Like, there is one for Drakari, Red Grief, and I think Ultramarines is the next. Is the next army of renown? Is it an Ultramarine, that one?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's at least a Space Marine army of renown, I should say. So I don't know what that will be. Maybe it'd be the Legion of the Damned!
They are the best.
Oh, dude.
The return of the Rainbow Warriors?
Yeah. Maybe the Mantis ones, because everyone goes, yeah, green looks like a Mantis one. It's Salamander, shut up!
The return of the Rainbow Warriors and their female Primarch. Just to make people super mad.
Are we getting an insight as to why the Legion was banished?
Okay. Let's wrap it up. Going for a while. We're rambling now. We're making shit up.
How's that a change?
It hasn't. It's just less of us. It's more noticeable. Alright, so we've had our predictions. I can't remember what I wrote, what I said of mine. Probably. I think the cast people are going to be disappointed when the books come out. That was what I put down. Because they won't split up. Emperor's Children, Word Bearers, World Eaters. I would like to see new Khorne Berserkers. That'd be nice too.
Yeah, oh man, they desperately need new Khorne Berserkers.
Yeah. So new Khorne Berserkers, actual proper unit of Noise Marines.
There's a lot of armies that need new models.
New tank. Alright.
Well, I think when we were talking about needing new Eldar, that was kind of like new Eldar. Like Eldar models are really old. They're even older than the Khorne Berserkers. Like the Khorne Berserkers are like one of those standards for these models are real old.
And they finally got new Guardians and a new Autarch.
New boys too.
Yeah.
New Orc boys.
Boys were ancient too. So there's hope that there might be some guardsmen.
No, they got the new Cadian ones, didn't they? The new box Cadians. So that was them too.
The new Cadian box set is like an extra sprue. It's the same Cadians. They've just got new helmets now with new hat.
A new Eldar second
and some extra special weapons in there.
I'm looking forward to see what they do with Eldar. It's an army that's always fascinated me to play, but I never got around to it. Be interesting. It'd be interesting to see if they do add the 3 factions in there: Eldari, Corsairs, and Harlequins, and why all 3 of them are in one book was also. Don't know.
Because they're all going to join together and become fucking
Indeed,
blood
or
elves
whatever it is.
kill each other and then become super Primarch.
Yeah, what happened to that working with the Drakari and sacrificing themselves into the Soul Stones and trusting them to bring them back to kill the god? What happened to
That's
that?
what I'm saying. I want more of that psychic awakening shit.
Yeah.
Well,
More of that good shit.
They weren't going into the Soul Stones. They were like going into their god. He was stealing the souls from Slanesh.
No, I think didn't they have to go into the Soul Stones?
Yeah,
because if
that
they're
was the
in
idea, is to
stuff
kill...
inside the Wraithbone is empowering that god.
Yeah, that's
So
what
the
they were
idea
trying
was
to do.
kill yourself, hide in the Wraithbone, summon the god, kill Slanesh, then become Primaris.
Correct. That was it. That was that was the theory.
Yeah, because I thought the whole thing was that their god of the dead was pinching the souls so they could die and their soul would go to...
Well, that was it. They was
body
trying
instead of
to
Slanesh.
do a sneaky sneak round to weaken Slanesh. So when he
Yeah.
pops up, he'd be weak. And so they could kill it easily and then trust the Drakari to bring them back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right? I told you.
Well, I mean,
It's a terrible plan.
Yeah. It's got its flaws.
if you can't trust the Drakari to make you a new body after you've died, I mean, who can
Who
you?
can you trust? Exactly right. And on that note, we will wrap it up, folks. Thank you very much for joining us all tonight. What is your predictions for this year for Warhammer 40k? Will you get the codex you've been waiting for? Will you get the model you've been waiting for? Will you finally get the Primarch you have been cursing and swearing about? Who knows? But we do know we're going to get a lot more games of 40k in this year, we hope. We know we're going to do that, yeah. And we know that we'll be back here next month talking about more 40k stuff. You're excited, I can tell. So on that note, good night, Mark.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, me. Good night, everybody. And good night, Michael. Take us away.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, will we see 10th edition by fall? The fogs of chaos are thick. Who knows what the new year will come? But we know what next month will come. Next month there'll be more wobbly player syndrome.